This is Boxing Talk 8576, and this video is a response vid to Haplotype and Thunderdome Boxing. Both of those guys, go watch their channels. You know, they have, Haplotype has good perspective. He know his history of boxing, and he kind of like break down, fights in an intelligent way. And Thunderdome Boxing, he brings you the news and on that side of boxing. But they would Haplotype brought up the question: are these fighters in better condition now than the fighters in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, and so on? I touched on this a little bit in some of my other videos. I believe these fighters. I'm gonna go with Thunderdome when he said that these fighters are in all around better shape. I think they're in better shape as far as muscle building and things like that. But as far as stamina, I don't think so, because I'm seeing a lot of fighters get tired in the ring. You seeing Canelo, he gets tired. You seeing other fighters, down the stretch, getting tired in fights, and these guys got strength and conditioning coaches, and they still getting tired. So strength and conditioning coaches really came into boxing. I know that first Larry Holmes versus Michael Spinks was Mackie Schultz is the one that got Michael Spinks, because Michael Spinks came up from light heavyweight to fight Larry Holmes, and he came up, and Mackie Schultz was building his strength, so he can be, strong and be able to compete against a heavyweight. And I believe, Evander Holyfield, he was doing it to move up to from cruiserweight to heavyweight, so he did it with a strength and conditioning coach. I know Roy Jones did it with Mackie Schultz to fight John Louise for the heavyweight title. He was coming up from light heavyweight to compete for the heavyweight title. But those guys, to me, was doing it to put on, muscle to be able to combat the strength of heavyweights. So I kind of see it with them, but I don't see it with these guys now, man. I'm with Thunderdome Boxing because I used to box, so I know how it goes. And when I first started coming to the gym, I couldn't go 2 rounds. I couldn't even go really 1 round. But my trainer says all you got to do is keep sparring rounds after rounds after rounds, and you'll build up your win. And next thing you know, you'll be able to go to 12 rounds. So after about a month, I was going 12 rounds. And to me, that's the best way to get in shape. And my trainer told me that's the best way to get in shape is to do road work, get some push-ups in there, maybe some pull-ups, and spar as much as possible. Muscle memory building it could be your friend and your enemy in boxing. If you train the wrong way and do the wrong things, your body muscle memory is going to build up for you to do the wrong things. If you train to do the right things and keep doing it continuously, your body and your muscle memory will train to do the right thing continuously. So, and I heard interviews with trainers like Freddie Roach and Virgil Hunter. They kind of poo-poo the whole strength and conditioning coach thing, because a lot of strength and conditioning coaches think that they are the reason why these fighters are winning. And you could listen to them like Mima Heredia. You could listen to him in Alice Ariza. You could listen to where they talk to where they say that boxers need strength and conditioning coaches. What were strength and conditioning coaches in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, and 60s, and 70s, and even in the 80s to some extent? They weren't there. These guys was doing traditional boxing things to get in shape. You have other sports athletes, like Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, David West. These guys are turning to boxing to get in shape. I'm pretty sure they can hire a strength and conditioning coach if they want to, because they got the money. But they want to do traditional boxing because nothing gets you in shape like boxing, man. I'm just being honest with you. It builds up your wind, your stamina, your strength. You don't have to be buff. Like people like Andre Berto. He got all that muscle on him, but he gets tired down the stretch in a lot of fights. He gets arm weary. You know what I'm saying? All that lifting weights, it doesn't really help you, man. These fighters need to get in the gym and work on technique. Work on learning how to cut off the ring, Canelo against Laura. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to cut off the ring. Learn how to throw feints, Berto. Learn how to throw a jab. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fighters don't even use the jab, man. And they don't know how to cut off the ring, and they don't use feints. So these fighters need to get in the gym and do boxing things to get into shape, do traditional road work to build up your wind, and do pull-ups and do some push-ups to build up your strength. You don't need all this, like Thunder Durham Boxing said, running through cones, hitting tires with big sludge hammers and all that stuff. You don't need all that stuff. Those guys that need it then, you don't need it now. What these guys are lacking, and people keep on saying these fighters are better than those fighters. No, these fighters are not better than because I think it reached a peak in the 80s. I agree with that. I had a video out there saying I think sports reach a peak, the pinnacle at a certain point, and that's it. It's like your body. When you're working out, your body reaches a peak at a certain point, and after that, you just tearing down your body. So all this strength and conditioning stuff, to a certain degree, you can use some of it, but then you just tear your body down, and then you just leave all your energy in training camp because you just overworking yourself. You need to rest too. You need to have some downtime, some rest time. But I think fighters definitely in the 80s, 70s, and the 80s, and to some degree the 60s are better than the fighters now because these guys have better technique in the ring. I'm talking about as far as fighting is concerned, as far as using your feints, as far as learning how to knowing how to cut off the ring, as far as knowing how to make adjustments in fight situations. These guys act like they don't know how to cut off the ring. They don't throw feints. A lot of these fighters don't use their jab effectively. It's just it's crazy. And I just want to hear anybody else's opinion who think these fighters are better conditioned and are better. See, better condition is, I'm talking about better condition to fight, to box. Are these guys in better condition to box? I'm not talking about weightlifting condition and all this. Your body is cut up and you got muscles on top of muscles. I'm talking about fighting condition. Why these guys are getting tired, man. So let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. This is Boss Talk 8576. I'm out.